Shabbat Shalom. Hello, friends. Down here at the park. Gonna flip this camera around. It's a nice day out. I'll take us for a walk here in just a few minutes. I make sure I have my hands empty when I go. Finishing up a cigarette here. Give you a minute to look outside and some people to come in and say hi. 77 degrees, somewhat clear skies. I've been a little quicker. When I first arrived, it was right at the end of an air show out of Sarasota. There were some F-15s, and it looked like a big B-52 flew overhead. Missed that. Hi, Alexis. Down here at the neighborhood park, getting ready to go for a nature walk. Sit here for a minute and finish my smoke and say hi. You're looking across the Intercoastal Waterway. That's Sarasota, downtown Sarasota, straight ahead there. There's a little canal that comes up beside me here to my left that the marina, the neighborhood marina, is on. So you might see a few boats pass here and there for a minute. I normally start my walk over by the rocks underneath the houses by the park, but they are having some type of millennial wedding here today, and they have set up to do their ceremony over on that side, so I already wandered over there for a minute, got out of their way. They're currently all karaokeing and dancing out in the middle of the park. I'll give you a peek here in a few minutes. It's pretty nice here right along the seashore, though. We're at high tide. It wasn't a real high tide this time. I don't know if you can see in the picture. I'll adjust just a little bit and go out there in a minute. But the green seaweeds, how far it came up. This is the time of year for all the big fish to come in off the ocean. Right along here are a whole bunch of banyan trees. This is one of the primary nurseries of the Tampa Bay area. On one of my earlier nature walks, we went to the bird sanctuary, which is another one, but it was in bad shape. But this area of the coast is developed along most of it, and right off of these little points and canals, some man-made, some not, these little banyan islands have popped up, and it's where the fish come in and lay all their eggs for the coming year fish population. Usually this time of year, my dad would put on a pair of waders and he'd be out there in the water up as far as he can get them, fishing these little channels and fishing up underneath these little banyan islands. Lots of little sea trout, red bass, even the big fish come in right now. The snook and the tarpon and all them come in and lay their eggs up in here too. I went out there a few minutes ago and was throwing a line in. There's lots of jumping, but it's all out beyond where I could wade to comfortably. I don't have waders. About ready to go for a walk here. Looks like I'm by myself for a few minutes, but that's all right. Alrighty. Here's my little fly pole. Took it out with a dead fish looking thingy on it. A little fake rubber. Oh, they calmed down. We're in the little pavilion now. That's the park off in that direction. Over here, they've set up for their little wedding. So I went ahead and walked over there and I found this little boogie board. I found this lure and I found a whole horseshoe crab. So now I'm going to start over, heading this way up through the banyans. Got a pelican out there on the post in the water. Looking across this way, we're looking at Siesta Key and Lido Key. The farther you go off to the right, get more into Siesta. Heading up into the Bay area. Here we got a little banyan tree area. I may have to go back and put my shoes on. We'll see. I was out wading before. I noticed earlier somebody had made themselves a little home in here, and unfortunately for them, it looks like the tide came up on them and got their little house all wet. There are a lot of people that come to Florida to live outdoors during this time of year. I usually, if you've watched any of my earlier ones, this is one of my first places I come hunting for my crabs. I don't know if they'll be back or not, but their poor bed was completely underwater. Excuse me. Looking back up in here, the fresh white sand is how high the tides have been coming up. They've been coming all the way through the banyans. Good spring tides, that's what lets them come in here and lay all the eggs. Slip my shoes back on before I go climbing down into some of these areas that are thorny. Tide line brings the trash up to the edges. This is where I usually find lures and stuff. Back in here, though, is where we find shells and things. Do a slow pan here. Looks like the tide's receding. If it recedes far enough, we'll be able to do some walking for looking for some shells in the shallow water. Climbing through the banyans right now down here by the water. There's a lot of fresh sand up in here. See where the crabs have already been digging through it. It's pretty unusual to have this much stuff this far up. The tides are really getting high. Hello, thanks for joining me. Walking through the neighborhood park area. This is the area where they store the canoes if you live here. That way you can come down here and go fishing on this nice little nursery out here. One thing though about fishing from a boat is, and that includes a canoe, is you do have to get a license. Whereas I can wade out there all I want to. The hard part's wading. Whoa, holy cow, dude. A vulture has just landed right there. No, that's not a vulture. What is that? It's trying to get out. Whoa, that was insane. It may have been a pelican, but man, it looked like a vulture, but a vulture wouldn't go toward water. That was sick. I don't know if you got to see that or not. I don't know if I was quick enough. Boy, he just comes swooping down right over my head. He's back in there paddling. See where he's disturbed the water. I don't see where he went to though. Alright, we got a lot of spider webs right here, so I need a stick. Let them remanufacture their homes. Sorry guys. Go back in here. A lot of leaves and stuff coming in. Back at home, our yard is just getting covered in leaves and it's March. I'm supposed to be like raking them at the beginning of February. A lot of these signs are pointing to a late cold snap, which is not good. The water's been coming up into here, builds these little flow dams and stuff. Gotta get rid of a few more spider webs here. Go back in here a little bit. All the little roots have grown. They grew up to how high the water comes in. There's bones of it looks like a catfish or something there. It's a pretty serious set of skeletons. That might be a gar, come to think about it from the looks of it. It might be a gar skeleton. Oh, here's part of a horseshoe crab. But it's not in good shape. I'll let nature keep that one. Coconuts, but they're too small. Hello, whoever's come in, thanks for joining me. Doing an afternoon walk in the local park. Crawling through the banyans, looking at stuff. Oh, tripped on a banyan. Huh, there's a pencil hanging from a string. It's unusual. I'll get around there and show you what I'm talking about. That's weird. Must have washed in on the tide and gotten all hung up. It's quieted down in the park. It must be getting close to ceremony time. There's some really cool leaves down in there. They've got some bizarre color. I don't know if you can see them. It almost looks like it's not real. Oh. Some dark, rich soil here. It's brackish water. Fresh water comes in and mixes with the salt in this area. It's a problem with my well at the house. I gotta backtrack here. I've kind of boogered myself into a corner. My well at the house, I'm only a block away from this, so I've got too much salt in my well water. My dad would water between the rains and kill off the yard he just seeded. Would never have known that if I weren't trying to raise pot. But I'm used to seeing it when it gets sick. And the minute I use the well water, it looks like I found today's ball, but it's not pretty. Oh, that's weird. It's got a hole in each end. Max Glow. Oh, I bet you that used to have a light in it. I'll put that in a pocket. That goes in the ball collection. Throw it in a bucket of bleach. Oh, we're back up out of here. Looks like a 2.5 inch. Yep, 2.5 inch protector for a PVC line. Oh, here's that cool coconut I found last night that last time I decided not to use. It had living things in it, so I didn't take it home, but it's naturally hollowed out. I'm wondering if it's still got living things in it. Anything coming out? Nope. It's so cool though. Got any votes? Do you think that'd be a cool art project? I think I'm gonna set it up here a little farther from the water line and make that decision later. Come across it twice. Toy Soldier, hi, how you doing, buddy? Cheers, man. Thanks for joining me, bro. I'm in my neighborhood park, climbing through the banyans looking for stuff. Found this. You've seen my kind of artwork. I thought that might work for something. I'm gonna sit it here till I walk back. Yeah, brother, I tell you what, you don't deserve all the stir you've been getting lately. I'll give you that. I'm glad to see how patient and how honorable you've been through it all. I'll give you kudos on that. That's righteous. Toy Soldier and I connected a long time ago just because we got a similar look with the way we do our hair. And then I started watching other people that were growing his stuff and seeing the bomb genetics they were bringing out of the closets. So I started looking for some to grow myself and had some good stuff going. Until I had to do my cut down. But fortunately, it sounds like Florida may legalize here before long, and we'll get back at it. If not, I am about to help a friend move to Colorado, and I may get at it out there. Yeah, bro. Not many guys are willing to hang it out there with their attitude and their kindness. I appreciate that about you, man. I tell you, our community, I think, is just under an attack. All the good that we've been doing for other people, trying to be kind and help other people get into this so they can get properly medicated and have good stuff to work with. And then other people who are in it to make a few dollars here and there get to hating because they see the prosperity that's going on with all the stuff that's being grown for free and hating it. I'm gonna have to pop this chat up to see what you said and went by. Yeah, it is. It's getting very weird. That's why I think it's a directed thing. It may not be directed on this round, but something's not happy. People getting free. Whoa, there they went. There's another one. There he is. Three of them flew off, but one's still standing there on the branch. Let's see if I can see him. Get him centered. He's about 20 feet away. He's hanging out. He's probably nested down in there. He's got a blue bill. He's got the head shape of a kingfisher. I'm not sure if he's just a really young kingfisher or if it's a species I haven't seen yet. Alrighty. I'm probably going to scare him here in a second. Let me back this back out. Thanks for joining Taking Deep. No, I don't think you're going to find too many Bigfoots in the banyan trees along the side of the canals in Florida. But if one did show up, I would hope to get a picture of it. Right now, I got that bird in my view, though. He let me come over here near him. He's standing on one leg. No, every week I get out of the house on Saturday afternoon and go hunting for stuff to make art projects out of. And this is my local park where the horseshoe crabs wash up in and all other kinds of little goodies here and there. Let's see if they got a nest, but I can't get back in there. Man, he's letting me get close. I'm less than 15 feet away now. I'm not even zoomed. That's cool. I'm gonna look him up when I get home, find out what kind of bird he is. There's some people coming into the canal up toward the marina. I was sitting in the car when I first got here and a whole bunch of seagulls were right over the canal here eating minnows. So I took out my rod and went and threw in for a few minutes. I kept getting stuff to skip around, but it was still pretty high tide, so I couldn't get out far enough to sling it to get into them. Alright. I think I see a path this way. Yeah, they were all right down in here. Let's see if I see a nest or something. Nice little shielded area. Alright. Walk back up through here. Yeah, it'd be nice if they figured out a way to take the greed out of everything. But we've built the whole system on greed. We let them take control of our medicine and everything. Now they won't let us have the natural stuff to get better. Let's see what this is. It's a guard off of a kid's bicycle. Oh! It's not a whole one though. Ooh, am I still zoomed? No, there we go. You were searching Bigfoot and got led into this stream? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that hiking deep. Maybe one day I'll be in your neighborhood and you'll see me doing one from those mountains, because I love going through the mountains and stuff, and hope to do the whole Appalachian Trail and all that good stuff in the next few years. When I do, I'm going to do some Bigfoot and little people hunting. I've had a connection with the little people since I was young. I've run into a few of their dolmens in my life. Heard recent stories about the connection between them and the Bigfoot, and interested in finding out more about that. But good luck on your search for Bigfoot stuff. Personally, I believe they're interdimensional, quite possibly our Neanderthal forefathers who didn't fall into the state we're in now. And somehow able to still shift between the spiritual dimensions of this reality. But don't listen to me, because I took way too much stuff when I was younger. Hey, shalom. Good to see you, partly cloudy. I need to get with you, brother. I've been meaning to send you a message for the last week. I started a care package to send back to you, and I couldn't remember if there was something we had agreed to earlier, but I'll get back with you on that later. I've had a very busy week this week. The guy I've been working for was out of town all week on a, what's they call it, Match.com date. Went to Key West on a date on a whim, which left me without work for the week, so I spent it cleaning up the house and prepping my property for a garage sale. I did decent yesterday. Today I'm resting and playing, and tomorrow I hope I do good. Another one. So many halves this time of year for some reason. That guy was big. I don't know if you all know this, but they actually milk horseshoe crabs for dye. They make a blue dye. They catch them alive and they milk them. They use it in, from what I understand, like medicines and stuff. Now this is another area that'd be good to walk out and try to fish out of. I haven't done this little spot yet. It's about 50 feet to the, oh, what's up in there? About 50 feet that way to where it inlets. Runs about 20 feet deep, 25 feet deep, right down the middle of the channel for the boats. Oh, lizard's out the yin yang. I got him in the middle of the picture. He's just sitting there watching me. Oh, there he goes. I heard a big one when I came up here. Slithered down, but I don't see it. Try to see if there's anything up there in the inaccessible areas. I see something that's green plastic. I don't know if I want to wait in there for another piece of plastic. I'm still carrying this one, waiting for the trash can. This is the neighborhood pool. OG Bobby Johnson, thanks for joining me, buddy. I'm here at the pool area, the park, doing my weekly walk through the scrub. Variegated lizard tongue, aloes, very nice healthy aloes. Now this looks like it's going to put out another flower. It's already drummed a bunch of seed. I was hoping we would see some sprouts that we'd be able to take. They're coming up, but I better ask the park guys first on these, because this is one of their little baby areas, because that's their little workhouse right there. These are succulent. I can't remember off the top of my head what they're called, but I've got a few of these at the house too. I've got a real dry flower bed under the front. Bougainvillea. Boat coming in the canal. May have to do a trash pickup one day. That I'll probably bring a daughter and for film and play. This is the workman's little garden. Got it going. Alright, we're getting toward the end of this little trail. Take this little one down through here so you can see the trail. Oh, on my butt. I see a puzzle piece. philodendron back in there. Surprised it's growing so good this close to salty water. Oh, branch fell on my head. It's blocking my path, so I won't go that way. But I'll look down there. Be crazy if we come across the gator one day. Howdy, howdy. Just about to the end of my trail for today, but thanks for coming in. Been walking through the banyans here. Somebody just plain out right through that in here. That's just trash outright. Well, the dumpster's right here, and I was about to go throw this other piece of trash away. Oh, somebody left some Diet Coke. Some diet poison. I like this stuff, but I can't drink it because it kills my gut. Yeah, here's a little trash bin area. These don't get too hot, somebody might drink them. Whoa, the bin's gone. Oh, they moved it over here. Just gonna throw it in. There's one trash. Here's the other trash. "10 feet from the trash can." Now let's just leave it in the woods. Hey, average girl, thanks for coming in. Thanks for listening. I've been walking through here today. We've only found a few minor things. I'll pick them up on my way back. Had a couple bird sightings today. A couple close-ups. The lizards are going crazy. This whole area is hard to walk into, so I'm going to go around to the little entry to the dock area. Look at the marina. Our local polluters. Yeah, I'd like to video document the weeks that they fly over top my house real heavy, how much the pH of my water in my rain barrel goes up. Because it'll actually go up to 8.0 on a heavy week in a 250-gallon rain barrel. Oh, there's another ball, but it's no good. But that ball right there can go out here in the park for a dog. Oh, oh, that's a foam ball. It goes in the trash. It wouldn't be good to eat. Oh, dead fish. What do we got here? Looks like a mullet. We got a dead mullet. And a crab eating him. Crab eating mullet. Ah, somebody's buoy washed up in here. Barnacle and Cresty. That's actually a bumper. dock bumper. Hey, how's it going, bud?
What's up, buddy?
Doing any good down here?
Nah, I haven't caught anything all day.
Oh. Yeah, gulls were in here just a little while ago eating down there at the end, but I couldn't wade out far enough to fish in them. Yeah, they still got to fix the dock. Little loosey-goosey. Once again, that's Florida rules. I can get down there and stand in the water and fish, but I can't fish from this dock without a license. I'll eventually get one. Bow to the system and give them their money. So let me go out and try to get some food. Isn't it crazy how the things that should be free, food, water, and air, they've robbed us of it. Make us pay our every minute of our living so that we can just have those things in a shelter. Boy, we've got a lot of good green growth this year. Oh, they started some bamboo. This is that real fine, little skinny type of stuff. Oh, we started some down there too. Whoa, the sun's bright. I haven't walked down this way for a little while. Usually the boats keep this area pretty scoured or trashy. And it looks like we're pretty trashy right now. Anybody else notice how every time you pull up a search, the little sidebar thing says, contrail is a natural vapor occurrence that comes out of the back of an airplane. I haven't even looked at chemtrails in years, but I've mentioned them 2 or 3 times in my show over the last few months. Now they keep sending me propaganda. Contrails. I live next to an airport. I know how often contrails form. That's the sad thing about civilization. We've got some sequoias. Nice, pretty place to live, able to go out on the ocean anytime. They throw their trash off the side of the boats. Clutter up their own yard. Well, I'm 45 minutes into this and I haven't even stopped to take a puff. I hear people talking, but oh, they're across there. They won't see what I'm doing with my back to them. Cheers. Somebody lost a shoe. Get down here and there where the people park for the marina. See, nobody's dry docked right now. So I'm gonna get around here to the point. This is the outer area of the marina where it goes into the little waterway. And then that waterway continues, and I'm not going to be able to show it very good, but it continues up into my neighborhood. Ooh, some big fish jumping. I've tried to fish from here a time or two. But the neighborhood's got a little marina on that side. Stony, hey brother. Good to see you. I'm here at the marina part, at the very end. It says slow watch for manatees. I've never seen one in here, but this does go up into my neighborhood. Then it goes into a smaller canal. Oh, just missed him. Usually jumping out here pretty good. I'm just not sure how deep that right there is. I've been afraid to try to wade it as the boats come in here. Something big in there making big splashes. But we get snook and tarpon and all kinds of stuff come up in here to lay their eggs. Look back into the neighborhood marina. Try to do this slowly. Oh, you see them all jumping in the middle? There's like 4 mullet at once. Trying to walk and hold it on the water. It's 77 degrees and I walked out in the water earlier and I'd say it's probably pushing 70, maybe low high 60s. It's just a little bit cooler than I was expecting. As warm as we've been. Bella Free from Babylon, New York. Nice and bright out. It's got that high octane white yellow sun today. I was sitting in the car with the windows closed and it heated up real quick. I love all these arguments. Is it going to get hotter? Is it going to get colder? Are we going to have a desertification? Or are we going to have another ice age? All I know is until it happens on Saturdays, I'm going to get out here and enjoy what the good Lord's made for me to wander in. Take looks through. Thought I saw, oh, it's a cornice off of a, that's something weird to find. Ugh. It's actually not in that bad a shape. I thought it was some kind of wood ball. Now I got one ball. Oops, finger over the camera. Sorry about that. 43 degrees. Ooh. My bones hurt just thinking about that, brother. That's why I want to be a snowbird. I want to have that life where I can go out and grow something out west all summer long. Come back when it gets cold to where I don't freeze to death. Time for another hit. Cheers. Little abusive OG. My cleaned up mohawk. Found my mohawk glue in the cabinet the other day. There's gonna be some video before too long. First time spike since 1990 something. Now the question is do I paint it blue the first time I spike it out this time? I can't decide. I don't know how many of y'all have heard the story about the mohawk, but back when I was in high school, we lived in Brunswick, Georgia, and I got permission to spend the night with a friend. That friend had tickets to a concert in Jacksonville, Florida. And he was poisoning somebody. I want to say rat, but I can't remember exactly. So my buddy and I, figuring, hey, we'll give ourselves some mohawks, go down there for the concert, come home, shave them off, go about our normal business. Well, we went to the concert and we had a good time. However, on the way home, my buddy, being too messed up, decided that he couldn't have anybody stay with him for the night and he needed to go ahead and take me home. And I figured, well, Pops isn't going to be expecting me. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. No problem, I'll just sneak in. Take care of my hair in the shower in the morning. Get up and go to school. I come through the door. And Dad had had one of his dreams. And Dad was up waiting to see if I was going to be coming in the door. Because somehow he knew his son was involved in some rebellion. And when Dad saw the mohawk, he, of course, went into high-grade righteous indignation because it was a direct rebellion against his authority. And he smacked me down and proceeded to cut the rest of that mohawk off and inform me that I would never have a mohawk as long as I lived in his house. And if I wanted one, I could move out. Of course, I didn't choose to move out at that time, but upon going to college in Oklahoma, about a year later, I did some volunteer work with one of the local beauty colleges so that I could get some free hairdos and got my mohawk shaved into it. And that lasted for about 6 months. Well, that was the last time I had a mohawk. And then after Dad passing and me moving into the house, I hadn't thought about all that stuff in many, many years. And it just struck me, hey, it's my house now. Let's take this full circle. And I shaved the mohawk back into my head and have been wearing it for the last 2 years. And that's the mohawk story. Taking 1 or 2 more quick looks, few of these places. I'm headed back toward the vehicle. But sometimes you see something when you look in the opposite direction you didn't see the first time. I think I see another ball. I do see another ball. The funny thing is the mohawk just totally matches my mouth. I lost its filter years ago. About the time I decided I'd quit lying about everything. Oh, knapsack. Start telling the truth about what I thought and saw and felt. Oh, it's hooked. Full of living creatures. But it has obviously been thoroughly searched. Stuck on that tree root down there. Oops, I know you guys are spinning in funny ways right now. I'll get you back upright. Yeah, I wish it was full of money, man. I've been praying for a miracle for a week now. For some reason my truck doesn't want to sell, and every time somebody comes, something that was working quits working. I'm almost afraid to show it anymore. I'm not going to have a truck to drive if I decide to keep it. But unfortunately the government says I've got to pay them taxes to live on a piece of property that supposedly my father paid off 8 years ago. When I came in today, the pool gate was open, but I guess they just had the clubhouse accessed. Look at here. We got a kingfisher swimming. Toy Soldier's gonna be going live here in just a minute. Oh, there he goes. I'm about at the end of the trail here, so jump over and say hi to him in just a minute. I thank everybody for joining me on the little walk today. We're at just about an hour. Gone from one end to the other. Hope everybody had a blessed day and is having a blessed day. Hope you have a peaceful and restful night tonight. Get out and enjoy your families and do what you can to enjoy the world around us. Appreciate everybody for coming and visiting. Shabbat Shalom. Have a good weekend.